Hi, this is Rebecca Villarreal. I'm the author of, as many of you know, The Amazing Adventures of Selma Calderon and its globe-trotting magical mystery of courage, food, and friendship. On August 8th, it was the 4-year anniversary of the publication, and I've been working on the sequel for the last 3 years. I transcribed all the notebooks, and today marks the beginning of an exciting 88 days ahead of me. I'm calling it 88 Writerly Days. And for those of you that follow me also know that I have a creation called Mystic Athlete. I'm also doing 88 Mystic Athlete Days and 88 days of everyday magic, and or 88 days of magic, whatever suits you and suits me. But I just am midway through a weekend of a homemade writer's retreat. I was inspired to do this several times actually, but this one has been especially meaningful because I'm full out into writing my second novel. And many of these writers' retreats cost like $10,000. There's one in Carmela I was fantasizing about. I couldn't find the price. And when I saw it was $10,000, I was like, I can do this. So yesterday I connected with some writers and read part of my manuscript. We used FaceTime. I had tea, we had champagne. I connected with another writer in the evening while I was the amazing poet who hosted me at Dropout on Orcas in 2016. I'll put the link to that documentary or dropumentary in the blog post. But I just wanted to take a moment to show you what my writing process has been like today, because it's been really fun and experiential. And part of, I'll show you this and then we'll take a taste of this magical tea together. Okay, here we go. First of all, I harvested from my garden some sage and rosemary, oregano. There was a tomato in there. I don't know what happened to it. It's down there. There's a tomato. There it is. And then I've been just researching some different herbs. And I wrote a scene, I'm still writing it, about Pemba. Some of you may remember from the first book. She's this magical spice woman who's lived many lives. And I've been doing all this research around different spices, including rosemary from my garden. And this is a special mixture that I made of peppercorns, cardamom, cloves, and fennel. And so I'm in the process of writing the magic lesson. And part of what inspired me to do that is that in this book, as part of my Walk-in Beauty Mastermind with Malama Brown, excuse me, she's an amazing creative. And I wrote, in 45 minutes we got together, I wrote 48 different not commitments, but things I needed to do for the book. And some of it has to do with fleshing out the things in this manuscript that need clarification. Just to give you an example, I'm sure there's something on every page. You know, there's some that are just corrections, but there are also, like here, fill in physical action of getting to the circle of trees. When you're writing a first draft, you don't always have to, like if you're in the flow and you don't feel like doing that, you don't have to do it. And that's been a lot of what I've been doing now. So for example, I started having Pemba tell about, now Pemba is from Zanzibar, so I've been doing this wonderful research into the spices of Zanzibar from when I went there many years ago. And these are the things I just mentioned to you. And then I realized, you know what, this moves to dialogue. So I started writing a dialogue and I'm researching what I want to say each thing means. So I'm going to pause and we're going to switch back to looking at me while I taste this tea that they make. They're making a magical tea. Rosemary is for remembrance and protection. And it's particularly important as some things that are going to be happening with and Selma in the coming pages, or some things have already happened. So I thought it'd be fun for you. I've been brewing this tea covered to keep the essential oils in. This is a mug I got from a little teacup. I got a whole set of dishes when I traveled alone in Spain in 2001. Let's see. Ooh, there's a lot going on in there. Wow. Tastes a little bit like Christmassy gingerbread, but there's some other like fresh, my face is in my garden. I also wanted to take a moment to show you, many of you know I pull cards and do sort of my own little everyday magic to kind of stay grounded, and I, many of you know too that I'm, or you don't if you don't know me. I also am religious, but I pull on whatever I'm supposed to be hearing from a divine standpoint. And so sometimes I pull cards, which is kind of like an extra channel on the TV of myself. And it was this morning I burned a little sage respectfully with some rosemary for protection. And I've done some studying of Kuan Yin, who's the goddess of compassion. And I happen to know I wanted to write about Zanzibar and about Pemba today. So I put that bumper sticker down, and the Rose Quartz for Compassion. This is a card my friend made me of my grandmother, because she claims to be the first woman to solo fly a plane in Mexico. And this is the 8 of Pentacles card, which I don't know how well you can see it. I'm not pulling down. And what's really cool about this, the fact that I pulled it and it's an 8 makes me really happy. Those are my bongos, which I'm definitely learning. My friend who I connected with yesterday gave me those for my birthday, and I am going to learn this year. I've been experimenting, but I want to learn. So I'm just setting that intention too. This 8 of Pentacles is really about steady work and progress, and less about the grand vision. And I'm really good at grand vision. And steady work and progress, obviously I do that because I show up and do the work, but it is challenging as working a full-time job, being a mom, doing all the things we all do. So that's why I'm committing to these 88 days, because it's for me to finish the book by the end of the year. And the intention is 25 minutes a day for the actual writing. And then I'm also committing to 25 minutes a day in the mystic athlete sense. And most of the time it's going to be some form of movement. And it doesn't have to be super vigorous, but some of it will be weightlifting and sports and bike riding and those things. And sometimes it'll just be a gentle walk. I do stretch every morning and night with yoga, and I meditate in the morning just when I'm in the dark in bed. I do a little meditation where I do the Sanskrit word Soham, inhaling and exhaling from this area. I know that sounds strange if you don't meditate to do that from this area, but I'm using my nose too. And then obviously do my daily prayers. So just wanted to share a little bit about that process. And if you have something that you want to achieve, it's September 1st. It's a wonderful time to kind of ground in and decide, this is what you want to see happen for yourself in the fall. The 88 days will take us to just before Thanksgiving. And then because I write by hand, I'll be transferring that, like I did with the last 3 notebooks, into a program I call Scrivener. I don't call it Scrivener, it's called Scrivener, which is how I'm producing my book this time. So with that, I'll share a few resources in the blog post. I love the podcast 88 Cups of Tea if you're looking for inspiration. I discovered them 8 weeks ago, and just have been binge listening ever since. And then I also joined the Patreon account. So I encourage you to consider her name is Yin Chang, is the host and creator. That's really an inspiring if you're looking to write. Now, if you're looking to do other things, like from the physical health standpoint, there's a couple people that I really, really like, and I'll put their Instagram links in the blog post as well, because I'll be utilizing some of their workouts, and I just kind of look to them to be lifted sometimes. With that, I'll say thank you for listening and hanging on. This is a very exciting time for me, because this book is good. It's very exciting. Lots of things happen. Lots of characters that were secondary or origin stories of like grandparents and things are coming in. So there's a lot of wisdom keepers and elders in there. So with that, I'll say thanks again for joining. Welcome to my space, and I'll show you some parts of my beautiful garden. All right, take care. Bye.